Hi everyone, so I'm going to show you how to make a really cool little I-cord using this very strange knitting spool knitter. It's a mechanised one. It's by, I think it's called Kentoys, and I got it on eBay. And the little lid opens up and you knit with the needles inside. So I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to thread it up and get it going. And I haven't used it for ages. It may work, it may not work. It's all trial and error with these things. I've also got my scissors, a needle for threading. I've actually got my my row counter, but I'm going to be using it as a weight along with my safety pin, because you need to keep the I-cord way down as it comes out the bottom of the egg. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to open this up, and the actual thread or the strand of yarn needs to come up through the back of the egg, and then through that little loop there, that little ridge there, and then it needs to go down through the middle of the egg. Okay, it's a little bit fiddly, and you pull it through. Okay, now I need to actually cast on the stitches. So like with a knitting machine, it's one needle will go in front and then behind. So what I'm going to do is going to keep that tail out of the way. I'm going to turn it. So if you can see there, okay, so the first needle, it's gone under it. So this second needle, it needs to go behind it. It's quite fiddly, so go behind it. Okay, and then the third one, it goes in front. Okay, and then the fourth one, it's got to come behind. It's like the sort of like the drawstring cast on that I've been doing with you on the knitting loom. Just going to pop that back in there. I'll do that properly in just a minute. And then behind, and then forward, and then the last one goes behind. So it's a bit fiddly. There we go. Right, I'm just going to stop there, because what we need to do now is get this properly fed through this top bit. So it needs to come up through here and then around. This is really, really fiddly. In there, it needs to come around just in the middle there, if it will let me do that. Let me just have a little go. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, there we go. So now a huge amount. And then we're going back to the front again. Okay, so that is now cast on. So I might leave it open for now, but I need to attach my weight to the bottom. So this is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to put my safety pin on here, and then I'm going to somehow knot this through the safety pin. I guess I could have just knotted it through there, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to bring this through the safety pin and then just knot it. Like I said, I've never done this before. I did have a weight that I could have used from a different knitter, but I don't have that anymore. So I'm going to have to be a bit creative. So I'm just going to knot it a couple of times. And then this is going to have to just dangle down. There we are. So I'm just going to dangle that down. There. Okay, so this is where we are. So now what I need to do, I just need to literally start to turn and make sure that each needle is taking the yarn underneath it, so it's actually knitting properly. You've got to try and keep that yarn quite tight, because I've had lots of times when it's missed some stitches. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this down on my lap just for a minute. And then let's just see if I can get a better shot for you. I'm just going to literally turn very slowly so it starts to catch each needle. Okay, that seems to be okay. Maybe I've lost one there, but anyway, let's go with it. So now I can do this up and I can start to knit. It's going to take a little while for it to come through. What I might do is I might just take my wool the other side of me. There we go. And it might get a little bit, mine's already got a little bit tangled up. So I'm literally just going to hold my yarn on the side where it's coming in here, hold it quite firm, and then I'm going to start to turn the knitting the bottom bit. I might just lift this up a little bit actually, sorry. Okay, there we go, let's try that. Okay, so I'm literally here, and I'm going to start to turn the base just slightly, and hopefully it will start to knit. So what I will do, I will just go away and do a few rows. It's like I'm putting some salt and pepper on. I'll do a few rows and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. So you can see in the middle, it looks a little bit like a spider's web. So I'm just going to keep going a little bit longer and show you what it looks like as it comes out the end of the egg. Okay, and there it is. You can see it coming out of the bottom of the egg just there. It's actually coming out quite well. I'm quite surprised at that. I didn't think it would come out quite as well as it has done, but you know, there it is. It is coming out fine. So literally all I'm doing, I'm just going to put that weight back down so you can see that I'm literally, I don't need much tension, and I'm literally just turning the base of it. And that is all I'm doing. It doesn't need much tension at all actually. So I'll just carry on doing that a little bit longer, and then I'll show you how to cast off and what it looks like once I've done a little bit more. Okay, so that has literally taken me just a couple of minutes to get to this length here. So that's probably a good foot, I would imagine, maybe a little bit more. I haven't got my measurer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off. So I'm going to take it out of here. And again, there's a few ways that you can do this. And I'll show you what it looks like close up. So I'm going to snip the end off my makeshift weight. I might try a clip next time when I do this, but that worked actually okay. And then I'm going to cut the end of the wool, just maybe 1.5 feet, and just cut that off. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do this depending on what you want to do. You could, either way, you've got to take it out of here. So you could work round with the needle in and then take each one off the needle like I've done with my loom. But that's actually quite tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally just take it loose like this. Keep this working yarn out of the way. You don't want to be knitting it again now. Might just hold it actually. And then these will all then just come off on their own, in theory. Oh, one more, it's just a bit loose there. So what I will do, I'm going to go around one more time. There, it's off, there we are. And what you're left with is your stitches like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab each stitch with my needle. It's a little bit tricky, but I haven't really found a better way, because it's quite fiddly, whatever you decide to do. Right, so I think I've got a slightly too thin a needle for my cotton. There we go. Right, so now I'm literally just going to take each stitch in turn and grab it with my needle. Just try not to lose the stitches. This is the hardest bit. Oh, there you go. You see that one's just gone. Right, so what I could do, I'm just going to unravel one there. That'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so now I'm going to grab each stitch. So there's one. And then there's the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Like I say, it is quite fiddly. That's gone through. Yeah, the fifth one. And then the sixth one, like this. Where are you? There, like that. And then pull it all together so it knots up. You could do a second knot if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you. So I could just go through it again. I could do that, couldn't I? And then just secure it off once more. Entirely your decision. There we go. And there you have a rather cool, quite stretchy actually, I-cord. So that was literally made within a couple of minutes with this little egg. There he is. If you wanted to make a longer I-cord, obviously you just got to keep cranking. You can make them super long. You could make them, a lot shorter. This would be quite a good one actually for like a bracelet maybe. You could double it over, make a smaller one. And if I had it longer, it could become a necklace or a lanyard. There's lots of things that you can do with these. And they look a little bit different than the one that I did yesterday on the loom. So yeah, that's how to make an I-cord using this rather cool gadget. There are other ones like this as well, with a similar number of needles on them. But I just thought it was a very cool little thing just to try out. But it is trial and error as to which yarn works well. A thicker yarn wouldn't work very well. This one, it doesn't say what it is. I think it's just like a DK yarn. It's like a typical, might be a little bit thinner than that actually. So it's, yeah, I think it's a DK. But cotton always seems to work well in these machines. Organic cotton, bamboo I've had that's worked pretty well. Acrylic I've struggled with. I don't like acrylic anyway because it's a synthetic fibre. I prefer natural fibres. But, try what works for you and have fun experimenting. Hope you've enjoyed this one and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.